This is really, really interesting. Big Dallas Sky. I don't know why, but such a song title, I suppose, that's so straightforward. I just like Hackett is just such a prog poet, and I don't know. I think of him as some mystical musician, which he is, and it's just kind of funny to see such a straightforward title, Big Dallas Sky. Listen, we're gonna give this track a listen off of his album Blues with a Feeling, 11th studio album, released in 1994. We're giving this track a listen because it was suggested and sponsored by Herb. Herb, thank you so much for the support. Thank you so much for the request as well. You know, I've heard of a lot of albums from Steve Hackett, even if I have not heard them, just from reading them in the comments. But I can't say that I've ever seen this particular album, as far as I know, mentioned in the comments below. I'm just kind of giving a quick glance just to see if anyone's mentioned this. Let me put in his name into the search bar. Let's see what I typed in Blues with a Feeling. Hackett. I'm not getting anything. I put it right in here. What if I put Blues with a Feeling? But now it just pulls up every single comment that has these words in it, and none are necessarily related to Hackett that I see. Interesting. Well, let's go ahead and give it a listen, though. I'm kind of curious if it lives true to name. Hackett playing the blues. Kind of curious. Let's go ahead and pull it up. We'll discuss it a little bit after. Here we go.
Deserted farms, I searched for you. In the driving rain most nights, feeling like a ghost, moving unseen through every street of dreams. Then I saw you one day, laughing under that big Dallas sky.
I love when that front comes out.
After you went away, I thought I'd never see your face again. Ships that pass in the night. Thought I'd make my way up north, go get a steady job, work with my hands if the occasion called. But the West Texas wind kept calling me back, through Chinatown and up the East River, to that big Dallas sky.
I like how after he speaks, his guitar, the band is also kind of run away with the music. Drumming is really out of
I knew I'd find you in a bar someplace, pretending you never knew the stranger at the door. But the other customers were wise to that game. I knew you'd come running sooner or later, and not because of my sweet loving arms, and Not because of the way I held you that night, but because of that big Dallas sky.
I like how this acts as a chorus. I like that idea. You know, this track put me in the same place. While we haven't covered a lot from them, it put me in the same place as like a Bella Fleck and the Fleck tones and a little bit of Pat Metheny. I think it's that bass tone for some reason. Like sometimes Pat is accompanied by a nice fretless, and that's kind of putting me in the same mind here as well. This is like an exciting, quick. I don't know. I wouldn't call this jazz fusion. It just feels like an instrumental rock track with obviously some progressive elements in there as well. Can I tell you, like, obviously, Hackett sounds great and is playing everything, whatever. That's established. Can I say that the bass and the drums really wowed me? And I always have a preference towards the fretless bass, so I can't help but have a little bit of a bias there. That's going to be Doug Sinclair playing the bass, and then Hugo Dagenhart, hopefully I pronounced his name correctly, performing on the drums. Really fantastic rhythm section. Extremely tight. I don't know who to talk about more, but Sinclair's bass was so fun to listen to. I love on the fretless bass that fluidity when it comes up, especially like when it goes down, like when it goes into the higher notes. You play the rhythm down on the lower notes, you get that down, but then you come up. I love that sound, and I know I probably just butchered it when I tried to vocalize it, but I think that is an incredible sound, and I love when it slides into those higher notes, and he does that plenty of times, especially when we get into the more fast, fun-paced sections of the song. The drums from Dagenhart are so active and fun to listen to. There's a fill that he uses to launch kind of a different rhythm after the first instrumental chorus, which I love how the instrumental section, when Hackett leads that kind of acts as the chorus between the spoken word verse. Let me see if I can find that. The way that he kind of plays on the kicks a little bit more aggressive.
Moving unseen through every street of dreams.
After the solo. That.
After you went away, I thought
I love how he started off with a little bit of more quicker kick on the kick. A quicker kick on the kick, and then he uses that to move into the fills, and then just keeps that edge going there, and that momentum never stops from that point forward. I like that a lot. Works really fantastic for a song. Let's get to Hackett. So apparently Hackett's the I won't say singer, but the vocalist here, the gentleman speaking. Maybe I haven't heard Hackett speaking in this manner, or maybe enough, even though I have seen him live. He sounds not like I hear him. Not like I've heard him live or in interviews or something. The track is called Big Dallas Sky, and he's definitely reaching more towards an American accent. He's definitely going towards that drawl, that deep Texas drawl, longhorns and steak and barbecue. You know what I'm talking about? Like that's just that kind of thing. At least that's what Texas sounds like to me. Longhorn, steak, and barbecue. That sounds like Texas to me. Lone Star. Drive that Chevy to the levee till the levee was dry. There's probably a music reactor in Texas listening to some Florida song and doing an accent of Floridians, and I'll take it. But I will say I prefer if the song was instrumental. I think that while it's not like he sounds bad, I would not say he sounds bad. I just the spoken word and so much of it, I suppose, doesn't really do it for me. If it was like one verse, maybe two verses at most of the spoken word, and then just instrumental from that point on, or in a reverse direction, I wouldn't care probably. But I wish it was actually just instrumental. I want to listen to the music behind him. Uh, yeah, that's how I feel. But it doesn't take away enough to make me have any sort of negative feelings towards the song or anything like that. But it's just preference. In all those deserted farms, I searched for you in the driving rain most nights, feeling like a ghost, moving unseen and through every street of dreams. Then I saw you one day laughing under that big Dallas sky. After you went away, I thought I'd never see your face again. Ships that pass in the night. I was just listening to Bebop Deluxe the other day. Thought I'd make my way up north, go get a steady job, work with my hands if the occasion called. But the West Texas wind kept calling me back through Chinatown and up the East River to that big Dallas sky. I knew I'd find you in a bar someplace, pretending you never knew the stranger at the door, but the other customers were wise to that game. I knew you'd come running sooner or later. But not because of my sweet longing arms, and not because of the way I held you that night. Oh, baby. Where's my button?
Oh my.
Get it in there.
Oh my.
So yeah, good track. I think the vocals, I prefer none if they're going to be just spoken as they are, but not a huge deal. Not a big detriment, if you know what I mean. Let me know what you all thought of the track in the comments down below. Herb, thank you so much for the request. Thank you so much for the sponsorship as well. I didn't talk a lot about Hackett's playing in this track. I think it speaks for itself. This is him kind of letting loose. You know, maybe for myself, more often I associate Hackett with a lot of subtlety, a lot of pastoral elements and themes. Here he's putting a blazing balls to the wall kind of feel into it, and I feel like this is just letting out all that pent up rock, just let him do it, big Texas style, and he does it well. I figured I should probably mention Hackett a little bit. I kind of got stuck on the drums and bass. Anyways, hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye!